such a lack of quality from both sides. QPR nil, Bristol City nil. A really drab affair. Really, uh, just two teams that neutralise each other in a lot of ways, and two teams that just never really look like were ever going to score. And it ends 0-0 at Loftus Road, and I think that's quite a few draws between these two sides at Loftus Road. Yeah, just very very meh from both sides. Very very mediocre. You could tell there's a mid-table clash. Two teams on the beach, and that's how the game played out. So for Bristol City, it was Radek Vitek in goal. It was Jason Knight at right back, Noah Ayler, Neto Borges, and Campering making up the rest of the back four. Sam Morsey and Randall in midfield. A little bit further forward, it was Max Byrne, Scott Twine, Mark Sykes, and Emil Rees was up top. I was a bit surprised Rees was in from the off. I suppose you look at the other options, and it is Sinclair Armstrong, could be Delano Bergzorg, could be Sam Bell, and gloating about any of those in with very much conviction. So I can see why Roy Hodgson went with Reese again, and yeah, it was. I think it was the same. I think it was the same lineup from the Sheffield United game, unchanged. And we go again. I personally would have liked to see maybe one or two changes purely because we had injuries to Max Bird and Jason Knight. He went down in stoppage time. I don't think he went off with an injury or to step out of the game, but he did struggle towards the back end of the game. Max Bird did go down injured and went off the pitch, so maybe you could have seen one or two go in. Maybe Sam Bell starts, maybe Tommy Horvath. That's a bit of an enigma, isn't it? Maybe even Earthy for an extent. So maybe a few changes, but he went with the same team right and I can't see the sense in that. And I can see the sense in that. Obviously, don't change a winning team. So the game, very very little to talk about in terms of clear cut chances. There's one for Bristol City in the first half, so right towards the back end where Sykes is put through on goal inside the box. He has a shot which is saved by Joe Walsh, goes out to Emil Rees. Walsh is on the ground and Rees hits it straight to Joe Walsh. I think it's with his left foot and it's a little bit behind him, so he can excuse it. And Rees in that situation a little bit, but maybe should have been tucking that one away. QPR, very little in the way of clear cut chances. There was a period where Bristol City had 5 corners in a row in the first half, but again, there was a couple of them where we went short. I think Sykes took it, went short, went back to Sykes, and then it's the thing you do on FIFA, isn't it? You go short, go back to the corner taker, and then the corner taker runs towards the goal. I think Sykes' first time he did that, hits a shot, saved by Joe Walsh at the near post. Second time he did that, QPR saw it coming and he was offside. And then again, the game sort of went into neutral mode for the rest of it. Very little. I'd say QPR probably the better team in the second half. Joe Walsh made a couple of saves, more than Radek Vitek, who, apart from two apart from a few that went straight into his arms, was with barely any threat. Very little he has to do. I thought the back line today was very, very good. I thought Ayler and Borges did well. When they had to, they kicked everything away. They headed, cleared it, and they were really good in that sort of part of the game. I thought Morsey was pretty good at that side of it as well. Jason Knight is Jason Knight, the guy can play anywhere on the football pitch, and him at right back was fine. So I thought defensive structure wise, I thought we were really good, and both sides in possession weren't particularly fantastic. QPR, when we were defending, weren't particularly threatening. Didn't look like they were going to break us down, a hell of a lot of times. And we were the same, really. As good as we were defensively, and how as good as the structure was defensively, the attacking sense, the attacking play today was not it, and it was pretty poor, and we never really looked like we were gonna score. There's no periods of huge pressure put on their goal. I suppose some of the big talking points from the game. No Tommy Horvath in from the off. Again, you can sort of understand that because you don't want to change a winning team. Okay, I get that. I didn't understand why Tommy Horvath wasn't brought on when Max Bird went down injured. Look, George Earthy's a perfectly capable player, but I think just sends a wrong message. And Tommy Horvath is a very, very capable player and has shown in glimpses of what he can do with a City team for the City team. And look, Hodgson hasn't had a hell of a lot of time to work with these players, but I still maybe would have liked to see something like that on in place of Max Bird when Max Bird went down injured, and hopefully for Bird, that's nothing too serious because he has had problems with injuries this season, generally in his time with City as well. So hopefully that's nothing too bad. He did go down and was sitting down for a bit, so fingers crossed, nothing too bad. I suppose the big talking point will also be Delano Bergzorg, who again came on, got booked, gave the ball away, just not it. And he was brought on in place of Sinclair Armstrong. I highly doubt Delano Bergzorg will be here next season, and quite honestly, I wouldn't be the most upset if that did happen. And Armstrong, I don't know if he's going to be here next season either. I think that just sends out a very interesting message to the board, and I don't know. I was very surprised that I wasn't brought on earlier, and I was very not as surprised when Berger was brought on, but when he was one of the first two changes, I was a little bit surprised. Look, not much to me, to be honest, from the game. 7 points in three. It's a couple of clean sheets in a row. I think our defense has improved a lot, and I think our structure off the ball when we're not. To be fair, now we play in a way where we're very sort of slow and methodical and try to move the ball at a very consistent rate or very slow rate. But it does also mean our defensive structure. When we have done that under Struber, our defensive structure was not it. Our defensive structure has improved a lot under Roy Hodgson, and I know he'll say he hasn't had too many training sessions or whatnot, but I think there is a noticeable improvement. And considering we have still one centre back, probably our best midfielder, went at it, and Jason Knight playing at right back. You've got probably a left back playing at centre back in Neto Borges. You've got Noreila, who's very new to this team and very new to the country and new to the Championship. And you've kept two clean sheets in a row, away from home, one of them, and home to Sheffield United side, who have got lots of attacking quality. I think that's a job well done. So 7 points in three. Roy Hodgson is still unbeaten as Bristol City manager. This is before the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Bristol City are in 10th, 42 played, 58 points. 7 points put together by Hodgson in 3 games. I think that's a good return so far. And now we have got Norwich at Ashton Gate, who have just lost the East Anglia derby at Carrow Road. So that'll be an interesting game. A couple of clean sheets in a row. Really nice from City, from a defensive structure, but you would like to see a little bit more going forward in future games. Better than that anyway. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you have enjoyed it, hit like. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel for more Bristol City content in the future, and I will catch you all later. Cheers.